Osteoporosis is a systemic disease of the skeletal system, characterized by low bone mineral density and deterioration of the microarchitecture of bone tissue, with consequent increase in bone fragility and therefore the risk of fractures. Nutrition plays an important role in the prevention and treatment of osteoporosis, as it provides important nutrients and essential minerals to keep bones strong and healthy. In the last video, which you can find by clicking above, we saw 3 foods that help fight osteoporosis. In this instead, we will see 3 other foods which, following some studies, have shown beneficial effects on bone health. Salmon. Salmon is the common name used to indicate various species of fish belonging to the Salmonidae family, originating from the cold and temperate waters of the Pacific Ocean, in particular those of North America, but which we can also find along the coasts of Japan, Korea, and Russia. Farmed or caught, salmon is one of the most consumed and appreciated fish products in the world. Rich in high-quality proteins, vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids, salmon is a complete and balanced food that promotes bone health. Fatty fish in general, including salmon, eel, herring, sardines, and mackerel, are among the main sources of dietary vitamin D, which we remember is essential for keeping bones healthy and strong, as it intervenes in the regulation of calcium levels, influencing its absorption at the intestinal level and stimulating the bone mineralization process. Salmon, as well as other fatty fish, are an excellent source of omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids, which, in addition to reducing the risk of cardiovascular and neurodegenerative diseases, limit bone loss during the aging process. This is because omega-3 decrease chronic inflammation and improve bone resorption through some cellular and molecular mechanisms, increasing the activity of osteoblasts, bone cells responsible for bone formation, and at the same time reducing the activity of osteoclasts, cells that destroy bone. Nuts. 5.3 million tons of nuts were produced during the 2022-2023 period globally, where in first place we find almonds, followed by walnuts, cashews, pistachios, and hazelnuts. The term nuts, not to be confused with dried fruit, indicates a broad category of seeds produced by different species of plants and generally covered with a hard and ineatable shell. An excellent source of proteins, good fats, vitamins, and minerals, nuts not only promote cardiovascular, digestive, and brain health, but also improve that of the bones and therefore the skeleton in general. The high content of antioxidant substances present in nuts can counteract oxidative stress, promoting the production of osteoblasts and attenuating that of osteoclasts, responsible for the resorption of bone tissue. Most nuts contain predominantly omega-6 fatty acids, with the exception of walnuts, in which a good percentage of omega-3 is also found, in particular alpha-linolenic acid. Omega-3s, as we saw before in the case of salmon, increase bone mineral density, thus reducing the risk of fractures and protecting the skeleton from osteoporosis. Nuts also contain calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium, essential minerals that constitute the mineral matrix component of bone. These minerals are essential for maintaining bone structure and density, contributing to the prevention of osteoporosis. Among the nuts that contain the most calcium we find almonds, while among those with a higher content of phosphorus and magnesium we find Brazil nuts. These are seeds coming from one of the largest and most long-lived trees in the Amazon forest, capable of reaching 50 meters in height and living up to approximately 1,000 years. Green leafy vegetables. 5 are the main colors that distinguish fruit and vegetables, determined by the type and quantity of plant pigments contained within them. Green vegetables owe their color mainly to the presence of chlorophyll, a green pigment present mainly in leaves, capable of absorbing solar energy to trigger the photosynthesis process. Green leafy vegetables in particular, including spinach, broccoli, kale, and beets, are an excellent source of calcium and vitamin K1. Calcium represents the most important micronutrient in the prevention and treatment of osteoporosis, and it is no coincidence that it is the main constituent of bones and teeth. However, it is good to remember that the calcium contained in vegetables is less assimilable than that present in dairy products, as they contain some substances that reduce its absorption at the intestinal level. Among these, we find oxalic acid and phytic acid, which, if consumed in excess, can significantly alter the calcium balance in the body. To improve the absorption of calcium present in green leafy vegetables, it is advisable to cook the vegetables to reduce the oxalic acid content, or combine them with foods rich in vitamin C, such as tomatoes or peppers, but also by adding lemon juice. Vitamin K1, known as phyloquinone, contained in green leafy vegetables, also plays an important role in bone health as it intervenes in bone metabolism. In fact, several studies have associated its deficiency with low bone density and an increased risk of fractures. However, vitamin K2, compared to vitamin K1, appears to have a greater protective effect on bones. It is also called menaquinone and is of bacterial origin, as it is synthesized by bacteria normally present in the intestinal microbiota, or we can find it in fermented foods such as cheese, eggs, butter, and offal. Some studies have shown that vitamin K can not only increase bone mineral density in people with osteoporosis, but it can also reduce the risk of fractures. In conclusion, it is good to remember that it is during childhood and adolescence that the future of our bones is built, as it is precisely at that moment that the peak bone mass is reached. That is the maximum mineral density value. It is no coincidence that osteoporosis is defined as a pediatric disease with geriatric consequences. An individual who does not reach optimal peak bone mass during childhood and adolescence may be predisposed to developing osteoporosis in adulthood, regardless of the rate at which bone mass is lost later in life. Educating children and their families on the importance of a healthy lifestyle, such as taking sufficient amounts of calcium and vitamin D, but also carrying out regular physical activity and maintaining an adequate body weight, allows you to build strong and resistant bones. These healthy habits not only promote optimal skeletal development during childhood and adolescence, but also lay the foundation for good bone health throughout life, thus reducing the risk of osteoporosis and consequently improving the quality of life in adulthood.